Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Today's perfume review time, and boy have I got a biggie for you guys. It's a huge one. Now you know that I have a blog and a veto for purchasing new stuff in 2017. So I went and hunted down just to try it. So I don't have it, I didn't buy it, but I'm perfumed in it. I hunted down the Pure Parfum of Alexander McQueen. Yes, the Pure Parfum, not the Eau de Parfum that we find everywhere, but the limited version of the Pure Parfum in the black bottle with the metal kind of feather imitations all over it. The 50 milliliter that costs you around 350 to 400 bucks or euro. Super expensive. Is it worth it? Coty should be the producer, I guess, of the fragrance. And I have it here. Now, mind you, I rushed from the store because I wanted to make it in time to do the review, to have it still on my wrist and kind of smell it for you guys. And it's really interesting for me to do a review like this. And I guess I'll be doing some of these in the future if you want. So let me know in the comment section down below, because the bottle is missing, but you're going to have to envision it. But, you know, it's the best way for me to do a fragrance review for you guys without having to purchase a perfume. And especially because, like, this type of perfume is fascinating to me. Other fragrances might not really warrant that much time, you know, and effort to go through, like, kind of trying them, spraying them, running back into the bunker, setting everything up and filming. But this one warrants it, since we all know that Alexander McQueen, since his really premature demise, all of his fragrances have been deleted off the market. And now, like, we've started like tabula rasa, you know, from scratch. The first fragrance that hit. This is like the fragrance of Alexander McQueen, the only one. And I think, first of all, like, I don't really like that attitude of just deleting his whole heritage of fragrances to now, but it is what it is. Now, what was it, an hour or two that I sprayed this on, and I have to say it's already mellowing down. So that's the first problem for me, longevity. Now, mind you, I'm not used to this smell, so it's not like a fragrance that I've been wearing for a long time, many days and weeks, so my nose is getting used to it, so I don't smell it out as much. No, it's new to my nose, relatively new to my nose, and so it should be powerful. I mean, it's a Pure Parfum that costs you for 50 milliliter between 340 to 400 bucks. Or euro. So let's get to the notes. Top notes, we got black pepper, pink pepper, and clove. Middle notes, ylang ylang, tuberose, and jasmine sambac, and the base note is vetiver. Now, however, the entire fragrance is kind of built around the jasmine sambac and the tuberose. And already in the store, when I was looking at the Alexander McQueen Parfum, the setup, the store display had, or Coty rather, set up all of the single ingredients, or the major top ingredients that compose Alexander McQueen Parfum in separate little, like, vials where you could, like, smell. So you could smell the jasmine sambac separately, you could smell the tuberose separately, you could smell the pepper separately. And I have to say, the jasmine sambac and the tuberose smell so much better on their own. And I asked the essay, I was like, do you sell like these as like pure essences just of tuberose? Because that is something that warrants a purchase. However, the mixture of all of those ingredients together, I also smelled the Eau de Parfum, but I wanted the Pure Parfum because, you know me, I go for the jugular. It's so soft and clean and slightly velvety. It's not powdery, it's velvety. It's just super, super, super clean. Nothing really about this fragrance kind of reminds me of anything that the bottle looks like. The bottle is like dark and almost goth and black as the night, and the golden feathers are just like in metal, are just like on the top of this bottle. I mean, it's very Alexander McQueen. The bottle, yes. The fragrance, no, it's almost too soft. Right? I mean, we all know that Alexander McQueen committed suicide, and we all know that it was tragic, and we all know that it was premature. I mean, any life that leaves us it should not happen. Of course, it should not happen. But it shows us something. It shows us the fact that this man really had a fragility, a vulnerability, a sensitivity and sensibility to he was a poet, he was an artist. Certain things we have to understand that influence an artist, that make an artist create those visions that he created. You know, certain aspects make out of an artist a human being that has way, way more receptors and sensitivities, you know, prone to be hurt and harmed by all of the environment surrounding him. Because usually, as a nature of an artist is, to absorb like a sponge the influences of everything surrounding him in order to then redeliver to society, as if like lifting and pointing a mirror to society, what actually is going down. And a lot of people don't like to see that freaking mirror pointed at their face, you know, as a surprise, as a smack in their face. A lot of people are afraid of seeing who they really are. A lot of people are afraid of the truth. A lot of people are afraid to speak the truth, let alone to know the truth about themselves. A good artist delivers that truth. And oh boy, listen, I know it's fashion, and I know that Alexander McQueen is known for being a designer, but have you seen his shows? If you haven't, shame on you. Go and watch them immediately. A lot of them are on YouTube prior to his passing. It's eye-opening. It's mind-boggling. The installations and the concepts of his creations and collections transcend just a demeaning word as fashion. They're art. They're nightmares. They are visions that literally strive for light through the deepest of darkness and the deepest of fear. And those visions that he recreated for humanity are like those mirrors. Listen, in the case of Alexander McQueen, I say you don't even have to like collect and buy his clothes. The shows already are masterpieces with the clothes in the shows, obviously. But the whole setup, the mood, the vibe, the darkness, the hope in between all the misery is just so magical, you know. And that is the mirror that he would point at you. That is the mirror that he would constantly, with every show, point at you over and over and over again. And at a certain point, he took his own life. Now, me being a very sensitive person, that loves fragrances and that considers fragrances to be one of the most elevated of artistry forms, because, I mean, yes, the liquid has molecules, but the smell itself, of course, at an invisible level, there are molecules there as well. So what I want to say is a perfume is material. But to me, after music, perfume is the most immaterial of art forms. So you could technically argue and say that sound waves are material, but they're not really. So a fragrance, yes, is material, but what this invisible evaporation of the liquid mixed with your own hormonal balance of your skin delivers to you in your nose, and then all the smell receptors in your nose and olfactive receptors in your throat and tongue and everywhere. You need all of them in order to smell a perfume, not just the nose. You need everything else as well. All that combined together with your soul. And here we are, the most important part of this review. The soul and essence is what then triggers certain thought processes, certain memory patterns inside of you that make you like or dislike a perfume, that make you remember scenes from maybe even a past life or from some past month or year or childhood or whatever of your own life, or they make you remember people you love or people you don't love. There's so much happening on a soul level when you use fragrance, that I believe that a lot of care and attention should have gone into creating, after deleting all the Alexander McQueen fragrances that were available that have been discontinued. By creating just that one, I think more thought should have gone into it. More delicate evaluation of what is the essence of this poet, of this creator, of this artist, of this designer, of this architect of dreams and visions that was Alexander McQueen. This perfume does not deliver that essence of Alexander McQueen. It's nice, it's clean. You could, because of the list of ingredients, you could say it's deep, it's dark, it's spooky, kooky. It's not. It's easy peasy breezy with a very high price tag. and it's mellow. You know, when you first spray it on, the tuberose is there, but it's so elevated and lightened up by even by the pepper. I don't even get really the pepper. I see just like some almost like bitchy, you know, dressed like office chick, business oriented, doesn't have much taste, but just dresses like, you know, power business, just like, I'm ready to go for the jugular. This perfume is not going to offend anybody, but it's definitely going to say to the people that I am wearing a fragrance. And it is, you know, tuberose is powerful. It's slightly bitchy, but then this one is mellowed down and toned down. Definitely not worth all that money. So this woman comes into the office. She's dressed in black. She has a allure. You know, everything is like fitted to her. You could see that she has the dinero to afford that costume she's wearing. And you look at her. You're fascinated by her striving towards perfection, but something is slightly off. Either the hair isn't really perfect, or, you know, you could see a little bit of insecurity there as well. And like at the end of the day, you don't really feel so much sympathy for this character. You know what I mean? You notice this character because this character is screaming for attention, but for all the wrong reasons. Except I'm actually giving her even too much of a presence. This one doesn't have that much presence. The fragrance doesn't have that much presence. I don't feel the feathers gilded in gold, you know, out of metal. I don't feel that darkness. I don't feel that torture and that torment of the soul. Not saying that Alexander McQueen fragrance should at all go in that direction. I'm just giving my personal input. Had I taken away, discontinued all the Alexander McQueen fragrances from before, and had I had the choice to create that one fragrance that represents Alexander McQueen, I wouldn't have gone for like just a gorgeous bottle and a gorgeous concept of how the bottle looks like, but then like not really worked on the actual ingredients and the actual composition of the fragrance itself. You know, this one is not haunting me. I would want a fragrance that haunts you. I would want a fragrance that makes you want to go online and research every frickin' thing you can about Alexander McQueen, about his power, about his magic, about his artistry, about how incredible and visionary this guy was. You know, you really want to, okay, I'm not speaking for you. I want a fragrance that when I smell it, it lifts that mirror towards me and it shows me who I am, because that's what Alexander McQueen always did whenever I watch it. And I'm super emotional now because, I mean, you know, he passed away so freaking young. And it's not fair. It's not fair for the whole world. This is super egotistical of me now to say, but it's not fair for the world, because we deserve somebody so incredible as Alexander McQueen to lift that mirror at us over and over and over and over again, you know? It was a gift to have him. It was a gift to be able to see his visions every season, every collection, with every installation. It was a gift, you know. This fragrance is more of a burden because you're spending a lot of money for it, but there's no gift in it. You see, money comes and goes. I always say that. Somebody has the money, somebody doesn't have the money. Somebody works their ass off to get the money. Money comes and goes. Time, once it's gone for good. Now, this fragrance and the fact, okay, Alexander McQueen's time is up. This fragrance makes me feel like an opportunity has been lost. You know, with time, new perfumes can come, other compositions can be created. You know, you could, you know, they can formulate a new recipe for a new fragrance that has a new name, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But you're deleting every other fragrance. You're taking all of the Alexander McQueen fragrances off the market. And you're reintroducing the only one to represent the brand. So what are you doing? Are you representing the brand? Or are you representing Alexander McQueen, the artist, designer, poet, visionary? You, in my opinion, need to represent the artist visionary, because Alexander McQueen was his own brand. That vision was Alexander McQueen. There was no separation between him and his creation. He wasn't just a designer working for the profit, just like building up collections that are sellable. No. He was delivering on a silver platter his visions, his nightmares, and those were that mirror that kept just like shoving itself in our face. And boy, did I and do I still love him for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you like this review. I can hardly even smell it anymore on my wrist, so this is definitely super short longevity, mild projection. For the Pure Parfum, I'm not reviewing the Eau de Parfum. Thank you guys so much for watching. Share this video if you liked it. Let me know what you think about Alexander McQueen's Pure Parfum, or if you have tried both, which one of the two you prefer, either Parfum or Eau de Parfum, or if you have only tried Eau de Parfum, what are your thoughts on Eau de Parfum? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. No matter what happens, guys, trust me. You know I love you so much. Do not be afraid when an artist lifts the mirror in your face and shows you the truth. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace that truth. Embrace it because it's liberating. It's not gonna kill you. It's gonna make you live, and it's gonna make you survive. And it's gonna make you never give up on love. Love you guys. See you soon. Take care. Bye.